Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Prakriti Remedies. And what better day than Ganesh Chaturthi to begin this new series? And I'm excited about it. And in fact, the first ingredient that we have to talk about, or the food that we have to talk about today, is also a very auspicious plant in India, and that is the Bael or wood apple, if you know. In the Padma Purana, it says that you plant a Bael and please Shiva. Like even today, Orthodox Hindus will circumambulate the Bael tree before they set on to a new venture or a new journey, because the Bael plant represents Lord Shiva and Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity. So it is believed that in doing so, your venture is assured to be successful. Anyways, coming to it, see the Bael tree, and we'll not go into scientific names in this series. Like, honestly, you're not going to remember. I'm not going to remember. But let's talk about directly as to what it does, where it is from. So, the Bael tree is native to India. It is mentioned first in the Yajurved, and even Charak Samhita talks a lot about the medicinal potential of the Bael tree and what plant parts of the plant are being used in the medical usage of the Bael tree are its roots, its leaves. The unripe fruit has its own benefits, and the ripe fruit has its own benefits. So these are the parts of the plants that we're going to be understanding and how they are used. Now, as a part of the series, I can tell overall the ailments that this plant helps. There will be some which you can do at home, but then there will be some which requires an Ayurveda practitioner or somebody very traditional, like how they do in villages, or hakims, or your grandmothers who have some awareness and knowledge of how to use these parts of the plants, while a lot of us actually who have grown up not even taking care of a single plant, or those of us who in COVID days have been plant parents and killed so many of them, for those I will not recommend that some of these that you try to attempt by yourself, so don't do that. So let's jump onto it. Let's look at the root. Okay, so what is the root of the Bael plant really useful for? It has antibacterial potentialities. It is used for the treatment of toxic fevers. In fact, in the tribals of Bastar, they say that they use the infusions of the roots in the treatment of toxic fevers. So there are innumerable uses. However, an interesting point is also, you would have heard the term dashamul, right? 10 roots. It is an important ingredient in a lot of Ayurvedic medicines. So, Bael root is one of those dashmul of all the Ayurvedic herbs. It is in the top 10. So, one of the most important plant that you can consider here. Second, talking about the leaves. So, usually a lot of these leaves are used in making the poultices in Ayurveda treatments you've seen, right? There are those poultices, and they do the massage with it, or they press it on certain parts of the body for its treatment. So they are excellent for the eyes. So bay leaf poultices help with ailments of the eyes. Um, they also are really useful in curing ulcers, hypertension, jaundice, headaches, nausea, all of these which are pitta related diseases where the pitta is aggravated. The bay leaves really help in soothing that. The leaf juice is administered even to diabetics as a cure for even cold and fevers also, where a lot of medicines don't work on diabetic patients, but bay leaf juice is very useful for them. Coming on to the unripe fruit, the nature of the unripe fruit is again very pitta aggravating. It is a hot, intense, it stimulates digestions, and it works as a cure for vat and kapha related ailments and issues. So they make like a jam. It's an Ayurvedic medicinal jam that they make of unripe fruit. Unripe fruit is something again that we can't use at home very, very well. But you should know that what the benefits are, and maybe this helps you go seeking an Ayurvedic practitioner and trying to understand that yes, these are simple Indian things that are going to be very beneficial for your body and to actually heal it from within. Okay, so back to the unripe fruit. This one is used in acute chronic diarrhea, especially where there is alternating diarrhea and constipation. There's some people who struggle with that. We really think that diarrhea is like, okay, no constipation, I'm having loose motions. No, but there are people who go with these periods of like constipation, the bowel is not clearing, then they go with periods of like alternating regularly without a break of diarrhea, then constipation, of diarrhea, and then constipation. So unripe fruit of Bael and its jam is really, really used to cure that. Coming on to the ripe fruit, which is the most usable, which a lot of you who are listening to this video and looking here would know that we use the ripe fruit a lot and would have had the sharbat. But understanding the properties of the ripe fruit, it's heavy, it's a kapha property, it's not easily digested. And that is why, I don't know if you remember, if Bael Sharbat has been made at your home, they really, really dilute it, take time to make it, and add either jaggery or mishri, which is rock sugar, to it, and make a sharbat of it. And you're supposed to have little only. It was literally rationed in the house. All kids are having this, and the adults are having this much, and everybody was given. And anybody that loved it was like, I want more, I want more, was not given more, because like you're going to spend the whole night in sitting in the loo then. So I don't know how many of you remember, but yes, that is something that I really, really remember. Where my grandfather, my nanaji, used to get in the summers, and it's a really summer thing, like I said, because it helps calm the pitta, the ripe fruit, and it is kapha inducing. So it's to take a very good time to massage the pulp of it, because if you have a little bit of a pulp also as it is, it acts as a laxative and it just passes through your system, and then you are literally going to be sitting in the loo the entire night until the entire system is cleared of that bale. So very important, and use and understand the traditional way the bale ripe fruit used to be had as a sharbat. Mash it very, very properly, take time. My grandfather used to take at least 20 minutes to half an hour, just squishing the whole thing in a little big patila vessel, and then would keep adding water to it or some jaggery to it, and then mishri, because if it was too hot you add mishri, and if it's all right weather then you start adding jaggery powder to it. Okay, so what does it really do? Beer sharbat, because in the summers of Rajasthan, which is where I also grew, or in the middle and the north of India, the summers are really pitta aggravating. So you might not be having pitta foods, but the environment, the season, the weather is such that your pitta is going to be high. So people start getting mouth ulcers, stomach ulcers, their acid levels are really high, and pitta is really high. So this Bael Sharbat really helps to heal these wounds that we get internally, even tiny, tiny ones, because of the heat, because of the acid, damage the lining of our esophagus, of our stomach, of our intestines. So the Bael Sharbat, or the ripe fruit of the Bael, coats the stomach lining with mucus, which helps to give it time to heal so that you eat other foods and you are able to digest it. And the pitta, the weather, is not creating such a havoc on your system, right? So again, coming back to ailments really, really quick, and their specific prescription, which I'll do really fast so as to not bore you too much, and I'll keep adding to it that whether to do at home, not to do at home. And again, you see where you are, what is your experience with plants per se, right? The first one, high blood pressure. You're supposed to finely powder the dried leaves of bael, store it in a jar, dissolve half to 1 teaspoon. Use measuring spoons, okay? Don't do andaz in like jugaad, okay, not happening in this. These are medicinal properties of these plants. So half to 1 teaspoon of this powder in 1 teacup of water and boil it, boil it, boil it, filter it out and drink it 3 times a day. So that's an remedy for high blood pressure, for jaundice. You finely grind the bay leaves. You take 1 teaspoon of this paste. So these are fresh bay leaves, fresh bay leaves. So today Ganesh Chaturthi and you use them as puja also. You put them as toran and you use it in the puja room because of these amazing healing properties and as the most favorite plant I think of Lord Shiva and Goddess Lakshmi. Back to jaundice. So this paste that you have, you add a pinch of black pepper to it and you follow it with 1 teacup of buttermilk thrice a day. So 1 spoonful of this paste followed with a cup of buttermilk 3 times a day. That really helps in healing jaundice faster. Appetite loss. People who don't feel hungry, who very high vat people, they need to clean some leaves, grind into a paste, take half a teaspoon every morning for 3 days. Constipation, mouth ulcers, you mix the pulp of the ripe fruit with jaggery and eat it once a day or make a Bael sharbat. Let's not make this very complicated. But constipation, ulcers of the mouth, stomach disorders also, and your stomach ulcers and peptic ulcers, all of those, Bael sharbat. But during the season of Bael, if there are any processed forms or you think you can keep it in a frozen form and have it later on, it will still work the same way. If I get, mouth ulcers in winters or, even after Diwali, please don't. That is not how these things work. You were supposed to have it fresh in the season and local for you. Please don't source it also from, I'm really not sure in the south of India or like extreme, of course, not available. I think in Himachal, Kashmir, and also please don't try in those areas. I think, and we can of course research more and please leave it in comments if you know wherever you are from and you're watching this video. Please leave comments whether Bael is local to your area. But I do know that your Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, these areas, the central plains and the desert, used to have good supply of Bael during summers. Coming to diarrhea, a slice of tender unripe fruit. You sun dry it, you powder it, you take 1 teaspoon along with warm water twice a day. Again, very difficult to do at home. Avoid. Uh, Stomach disorders, peptic ulcers, fever. This one is a simple one. You soak 2 to 3 bay leaves in 1 cup of water. Measure all of these. Keep in a copper vessel overnight and drink this water early next morning. You continue it for 40 days and you'll find that all of your stomach disorders, peptic ulcers, stomach ulcers, fever that you are developing because of high pitta in the body will be completely fine. Mouth ulcers, 1 teacup pulp with 1 teaspoon sugar early morning. This is the same as your having the Bael sharbat. Piles, this is interesting, but something we can't do at home. But I want to mention it because a few people do struggle with piles. So take an unripe fruit and pound it along with 1 teaspoon each of dried ginger and saunf and soak these in 4 teacup water. Sip this water 3 to 4 times a day, one cup each. So that's the remedy for piles, fever, and malaria. You extract the juice from tulsi leaves and Bael flower. Again, not a home remedy, but just for your awareness and to inspire faith and belief in your own local native plants and herbs and fruits. It's very, very important that I mention it here. So, and then you add honey to it, you take this twice a day. So, maybe get an Ayurvedic practitioner to help you with it if you struggle with issues like this. Eye diseases, redness, we've discussed. You take the tender buds of that, you make a poultice, you roast it like in a mud pot. Yeah, if you can do this, That's good. If can't, take help of Ayurvedic practitioners, your grandmothers who are aware about these things. And make a dry poultice of it, and that's used on your eyes. Bearably warm, should not be hot, should not be cold. That's great for eye diseases. Bael is also amazing for weakness of the body, watery sperm, and excessive bleeding during menstruation for some women. When they've taken all of this, and what will doctors do? They're going to put them on health control, uh, birth control, sorry, medicines. So instead of going that route, please try some of these natural ways of healing. So for watery sperm, you soak half teaspoon of Bael gum in a glass of water overnight. Drink the water early next morning. Do it for a few days. Excessive bleeding during menstruation, grind some leaves into a fine paste, fresh leaves. Take 1 teaspoon with warm water and then drink some cold water after it also. This is easy, should do at home, and a lot of women struggle with it also. So I would really recommend we do this. Early stages of TB. Mix the pulp of the ripe fruit with required quantity of sugar and honey and take after dinner for 40 days. Doable at home. Please try. Anybody that has struggled with TB, but works well in early stages. Once it has taken its roots more in your system, it is harder. Asthma, chew bay leaves along with 3 to 4 black peppercorns early in the morning. 1 teacup warm milk can also be taken. Continue for 30 to 40 days. Smallpox, I think we as a country have gotten over it. Body weakness, same 1 teaspoon pulp of ripe fruit with mishri, your rock sugar or candy sugar, and eat this frequently. Your weakness of the body really go away and you develop more strength. Body heat, nausea, vomiting, you pluck a handful of bay leaves and roast it in a mud pot. Add 1 teacup of water and allow it to boil well. Remove from fire, filter, take half of it in the morning, remaining half in the evening. Continue for 21 days and see if required, add some sugar to it. So it really, really helps with pitta related problems, as you can overall understand in this. While I have added a lot of disclaimers in this, still adding a word of caution in the end that, too much of Bael pulp, the ripe one or Bael sharbat, is going to cause flatulence and a sensation of heaviness in the body. You might suddenly start like either going to lose motions or vomiting because your system can't hold it. It's a very heavy food to digest. Don't think all fruits, apple, wood apple, same thing, easy to digest. No, extremely, extremely difficult to digest fruit. This one is. So stick to the traditional methods. If you remember your grandparents also making this for you, very little bit. So I remember it was 1 to 2 bale fruits, 2 wood apples to make sharbat for like good, how many were we in summer vacation? 15, 20 people in the house, like all cousins and mama, mami, and everyone, for just 2 bales for everyone. So you can understand the quantities that you should be using of this and when and how to be had. So bale pulp should be converted to sharbat like that. Otherwise, it can really, really cause a sensation of heaviness. Be very careful of that. And that was episode 1 of Prakriti Remedies, or home remedies that I think we all should bring back. We should not be reaching out to that medicine the first thing because it is going to have side effects. I am not saying that don't have medicines. I am alive because of medicines. My best friend is a doctor. Some of my family are doctors. So this is not either or, right? It's not that either you do this or you do that. It is about where to start and merge both. Use the modern medicine to heal your symptoms. You have very high fever, of course you're going to need, medicine to be able to even get up and pluck this bay leaf. But the point is that understand that modern medicine is largely based on symptom management and not health care. You have to identify the root cause. If pitta has been the reason for your fever, for your dysentery, for your stomach ulcers, for your mouth ulcers, then you have to look for a solution which heals you from within and it is not about just popping a pill or taking medicines. And a lot of us now in our 30s are being put on so many medications for like thyroid and blood pressures and your PCODs, someone or allergies, antihistamines. It's crazy. We should not be having medicines every day. I mean, that has to come down to literally maybe once a year or lesser. So start and try. This is not a space to believe or not believe. You can get stuck in, I believe in this and I don't believe in this, but it's not helping you. What really helps is the application of things. End of the day, Bael Sharbat is a delicious thing. So try that, and all other remedies that we've discussed regarding the leaves also, which are easily doable at home. Try those, and practice, understand, reach out to Ayurvedic doctors also if your concerns are much more than something that you can manage by yourself. But come to a place where these little natural ingredients, local, easily available, cheap, are something that are healing you from within. Yes. And I am going to see in the next episode with another ingredient or plant from India. And until then, you take care and stay healthy. I'll see you.